Okidoki, we continue part 2, chapter 27, Diaspora series. Yesterday we did part 1. Now, you all know, how Kebus ends up in the situation he was in. I call it a situation because remember, there was no inclination on what was coming after 1999. I told you yesterday, I pick up my passport from the embassy at exactly 2 p.m. Parliamentary Avenue. So I walk out and my girlfriend, she would pick up her passport the next day, something like that. But I'm not focusing on her in the story. I don't want to bring her in the story because she's not in the story. She's living her life and I'm living, this is my story. So you'd want to know, we came together on the flight. We arrived in the UK together. So whatever happened thereafter, you know, when I was in City Square, let's go back. Do you know where City Square is? Constitutional Square. Many years ago, it was full of trees. You could sit there, kind of reflect. So we walked from Parliamentary Avenue, Kampala Road, via Steers Restaurant, where I had met Bettina, Greenland Towers, Greenland Bank, and then I asked her, let's pause here a bit. Tugenda tutule kuwali mu busubi. Let's go and sit in the grass in the park. So we sat down there. So I could see what was coming next. Because a lot of decisions I had to make now. Of course, I'm employing so many people. You know, my business is in my hands. You know, it is me as the boss. But of course, it was eminent. Kakati, I remember Mr. Mpungu, one of the YMCA officials. Mr. Mpungu ali kuno bali liddawa saddamu mulaba Mr. Mpungu. That he had made, I think, booking for ticket, travel, things like that. Kakati, now I'm figuring out to get the tickets, blah, 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 Kenya Airways, blah, 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 blah. So that logistics of doing things now, preparing this, preparing that. But I was used to traveling, you know. Being I used to go to Nairobi a lot. Sibanyumizanga how many times I went back to Nairobi, back to back. And again, Nairobi, I used to return back for holidays. Ambassador Hotel, New Stanley Hotel, Namwensula. Weekend away, jump on the Akamba, straight to Nairobi. There was no question about it. It's still Naziba, you know, there's a romantic getaways. Kampala yali itanso kubeera too small for me. Okay. Let's jump. Kakati mutemwamanya kikyaliwo. Najja ne girlfriend, ekyo I've always confessed it. Naye ebintu byatabukira wano. Things didn't work out. Manya kati back in the day, many people of you now today, mwogela ku horror stories. Nti naleeta omukazi ne bamunzibako, naleeta omukazi nanzirukako bitabi. Namuleka mu hotel. My differences with her were this. Yeah, the fact that she had kukuba dikajji oba nti yali ayingidde nze nali muleese tuli mu hotero mwe twali South London awo kiraba ntusulako ne hotel ddala wano Stratford study tour eggwako nze mugamba nti you know what, me I'm returning back to Uganda sina ano kyenkolamu ninalowooza nti byakusaaga naye kakati mwe kyemutamanya nti kakati abantu abasinga nze yali andaze impression nti talinawo bantu be nti talinawo bantu London naye once we got here sijui uncle sijui auntie sijui my whatever everybody came out of the woodworks. It's up to you. My suspicion is this nti bamu influence kana muwa amagezi nti nabo omusajja akulese kati I'm not saying she used me sagala mugambe nti kegusi bamu using no twatula wansi ne mugamba nti nze I'm returning back to Uganda nina ebyokukola bingi I'm a businessman era nenkomawo Uganda kinnabagamba nti mba ndi Uganda. I received an email from the university here kubanga twatambula mu universities wano education kakati nze kyesaamanya now I know that many of the universities here were promoting overseas students. They started tour to lure overseas students to come and study here. Era twagwa mu katiba ke kamu. Those who could afford, I'm talking about those who could afford. And I could afford to pay for my education here. I could afford, literally saying I could afford. And I was able to put together $100,000 emitwalo 10 okujja okusoma wano mu 2001. Kati my question is, hadn't I come to the UK for the study tour, would I be in the UK today? That is one question I've always... When I had the money and I was doing well, I was doing well. I wasn't anything about and about. Fit wanyumirwa Uganda. Okay, so let's put her on the side. So me, I've returned. I leave her in the UK, and she starts her life here in the UK. The last I heard and the last I know, she married, she settled down, and she has a very happy family. And we are in touch. We have no qualms about each other. These are all the horror stories people talk about. In the Kuruange, see horror story. I have got nothing against her. So that pretty much summarizes my maiden voyage to Europe. It was a shopping holiday. It was a romantic getaway. And I was probably caught up in so many things, but I would settle down eventually when I come back to study. 2001, you know, I go to the United States. I am granted a 6 months visa. American visa. 2002, I returned back to the US. Again, educational program. American Embassy. 6 months visa. Kubanga bino ebintu kegusibwa ebyogera people like tekisoboka wandibadde mu America wandibadde mu France wandibadde eno no try to atambula dda 3 4 nkoma we Uganda 5 nkoma we UK on the decision to pursue further studies. Kakati ekyankola bubi nnyo nti omwaka ogusembayo my last year of study here. After 4 years, they changed the immigration rules. All students who had come in the wave of the international students, blah, 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 were being granted indefinite leave after 4 years. Then they changed the rules. Babi chusa in my very year. So, so when I come back, I have to do 6 more years. So they had introduced the 10-year rule. And automatically after my 10 years, indefinite leave, najibaraga. Njabaraga student visa yangu yali efanana. Then integrate yalimu akagambo bakaita no recourse to public funds zene winafuna obutuuze wano tebampanga kwa dene sente ya wano yadene ekikumi sijeetaaga era nze mbaddewo wano nga ne maintaininga twajja ne sente so musajja no lero nga mukambwe lero kebisi whatsapp ebintu fetu generation eyaffe tetwali bamasikini. But you're from a privileged background, you don't have entitlement to public funds. Awo kikolera ki? Naye nga nali nsazeewo setolinge wano ye muzungu. Emboozi ekyali mpanvu. The untold. Well, the thing is, it's always on the outside that we see things. Kale gayo yo akola chi kati mwana mukaba ebya family. Go akikola otya. Nabagamba nti nakola decision yali eminent. I was building a billionaire mansion house in Entebbe with my ex. I wasn't even married to her. We didn't even have children. Naye because she was around me when I was building my empire, I could not just walk away like that. Nimetugamba nti I didn't waste her time. Yali asoma mwana wa general, which I swore to never disclose who she is. Maybe those who know her. That's enough. My friends, for the sake of privacy, kegusigwe tukumanyi gwe tukwesiga. Kegusi yagala omuwala oli Bettina ati bwe buvubuka ebintu bye nakolera Bettina. So no one can do those things. Even if you love a woman so much, they would question. Yeah, that was it. And she wished me the best. Never gamba nekumbaga ye. Na wera ze jiraba. Nina akamugulira Benz. Nalina akamugulira Mercedes Benz SL 500. I've got the pictures. Mwajira badamu jimanye newe. Nze navuganga Mpenkoni Land Cruiser. Najireka ku kisaawe. Sibanyumizanga story nayo. Kakati all these things fit the diaspora. In out bugu in out bugu. Obani ajitwala sijukanya kujukira naye nga imotoka mugimanyi Land Cruiser. Navuganga. Anyway, akati orondi UK tuze because the study tour yafe. The study tour began with YMCA Wimbledon. We were the center. There were very many other YMCA. Back in the days, YMCA is international. So they have affiliate YMCA. So many of them from different countries, sending the young. If you read the letter, it will tell you exactly what we came for here in the UK, the purpose of our visit. It was a learning experience. That was the dawn of the internet, the dawn of technology, the dawn of information computing and technology, ICT. It's not like here. So, and we learned a lot. And me, I was very familiar with the computing, having studied it in Uganda and in Kenya. Are we good? Follow this series. There's a lot I'm bringing out, and there's a lot I'm sharing. Chapter after chapter. So in that context of 2000, that's all that is happening. So the subsequent years until 2010, when I submit my application 3 months in advance before. My passport, I think, was expiring as well. So it gave me that leverage. And then eventually, the decision would be determined by the immigration judge. I went to the tribunal, whatever they call it, tribunal, angel. That was where the courts are. Presented my case with my lawyer. Very nice lawyer. But the case was because I did not declare a driving conviction. I had a driving conviction, drink driving. I had been stopped and breathalyzed. Yes, man. Oga, how are you? You're happy. What's wrong? You have some money.
I've seen your woman. That's why.
She's there. Is she there?
She came already.
She promised me to come today.
She's waiting for you.
I'm going inside. So, the decision was like, yeah, it was already spent. It was off the record. The driving conviction was in 2005. They usually, it was a driving routine situation, and then I'm coming from a pattern, nothing, no accident, nothing. They, pull over, I stop, they breathalyze, but they say you're over the limit. And then they gave me they gave me points. Is it points? Or no, they banned me. Bumper driving ban. Is it 6 months? 6 months driving ban, something like that. Then I had to do a course. But these things happen. They happen. So the immigration judge was very happy that after then there wasn't anything. My driving license had been issued back and everything. And then on the 11th of May, bang, they determined my case to settle in the UK. Indefinitely, that's what they call the indefinite leave to remain, people. Webutuze, ILR. No chuwede. So when I come back in 2012, nakomawo nga chinabagambye in chapter erinanga nalingo omugenyi. I felt like I don't belong to Uganda. I'm not Ugandan. The passport yange in charge. It's natural.